Have you ever had a friend who roots for a football team all season, swearing that's their team, only to switch sides at the very last moment, right when the Super Bowl kicks off? Suddenly, they're cheering for whoever it looks like they're going to win. That's what's known as a bandwagon fan. The term comes from the 1800s when people literally jumped on the bandwagons in parades, following whatever was most popular. Over time, it became a metaphor for people who only support a team or anything because it's successful, not because they're loyal. I think in gaming, guys, I think we're seeing the exact same thing happening right now with Call of Duty and Battlefield. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Pure Noble. I'm just a fellow Call of Duty player that likes to nerd out on everything Call of Duty related. We talk about the season changes, we talk about Call of Duty news, we talk about weapon balancing, we talk about the new weapon reviews, we talk about tips and tricks here and there that I learned as a Call of Duty player that I hope that I can instill to all new Call of Duty players out there that are just coming onto the scene. But if anything, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Keep killing it out there. Every time Battlefield announces a new release, you see a new wave of COD players suddenly claiming they're done with the franchise. They'll uninstall the game, call it trash, and say, hey, this is it, I'm moving over to Battlefield for good. The hype is always fueled by Battlefield's cinematic trailers, which are honestly incredible. They look massive, chaotic, and visually stunning. Naturally, COD players get caught up in it, and for a few weeks, you'll hear non-stop bashing of Call of Duty. But here's the thing, guys. History repeats itself. When the actual Battlefield game comes out, it either launches with major issues or just doesn't provide what COD players are used to in terms of gameplay style. Now, before long, those same players end up sliding back into COD lobbies, quietly, without acknowledging they just spent weeks trashing the franchise they're now happily playing again. And that's the part that bothers me. It's not about trying new games, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. It's about making these dramatic exit statements that you don't actually mean. It's like being the boy who cried wolf. Now, if Call of Duty was really so bad, why did you come back? The truth is, deep down, those players enjoy the game. They might get frustrated in the moment, but COD consistently gives them the FPS experience they're looking for. Something Battlefield or other shooters just don't fully replace for them. So when you say, I'm never playing this game again, quote unquote, and then return 2 weeks later without so much as acknowledging it, it just looks disingenuous. Now, I get it, guys. Gamers are passionate. Frustration leads to emotional statements. But there's a difference between venting about a bad match and declaring you're leaving the franchise forever. It honestly comes across as childish when someone makes those extreme claims, and only to backtrack on the second their alternative doesn't pan out. And honestly, a lot of this behavior probably does come from younger players who don't fully mean what they're saying. They're caught up in the moment. They enjoy stirring drama and they jump back and forth just for attention. But what effect does this have on the community, guys? Because in my opinion, it just breeds unnecessary toxicity. It pits COD and Battlefield fans against each other, fueling endless debates about which franchise is dead and which one is better. Because when in reality, players should simply pick what they enjoy. If you love Call of Duty, stick with it. If Battlefield is more your style, then that's where you should be. There's no need to trash the game you're not playing just to justify your choice. Gaming should just be about fun and not tearing down the other community. And then there's that certain group of players who aren't even serious about switching. They just enjoy the chaos. They like watching COD and Battlefield fans argue online, dropping comments or making posts just to spark fights. Now, we could call them sadists. They get entertainment out of creating conflict. But at the end of the day, they're not contributing anything positive. They're just stirring the pot for no reason. So here's my take. If you're genuinely done with Call of Duty, that's fine. Move on, play Battlefield, or find another game. But if you're just throwing out emotional statements because you had a bad match or because Battlefield trailers got you hyped, then don't be surprised when people stop taking you seriously. If you love COD, admit it. If you love Battlefield, admit that too. Just stand on your choice and own it. There's nothing wrong with switching games, but there is something wrong with constant flip-flopping and pretending you're leaving when you're not. Because in the end, the franchise you keep crawling back to, that's probably the one you actually enjoy. But hey, that's my perspective, guys. What do you think? Do you see these players as harmless or just speaking out of emotion? Or do you think their back and forth behavior creates more negativity in the community than it's worth? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And before I end this video, guys, I just want to say on September 9th, we have hit 3,000 YouTube subs. Now that I think is amazing, and I just want to thank you guys so much for this, because ever since I started really getting into YouTube, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, I've been really trying hard to stay consistent with you guys, to keep providing content, to stay genuine, to give help to a lot of beginner Call of Duty players out there. as you already know, when you see my gameplay, when you see my tips, tricks, and here and there, I'm not a crazy player. I don't have super high KD. You're not seeing me drop, 20, 30, 40 bombs on Resurgence. I'm just a regular player, but what I love to do is nerd on this game. I think one of the things that I really wanted as a Call of Duty player growing up is having a consistent set of creators really talking about how to improve in the game. Not just seeing consistent, 30, 40, 50 kill bombs, watch me get all these kills, and not really explain why their loadouts, why their methods, and why their tips and tricks here and there is actually helping them or helping other players in the game. I don't want you to just try this loadout and see if you get better. I want you to be able to understand this loadout, understand why these attachments for this specific weapon is going to better you as a player, or why you need to mess with your ADS sensitivity multiplier, or why you think that horizontal or vertical sensitivity might be too high for your current skill set. These are the kind of things that is very hard to find in the Call of Duty content creation space. So I think if I could fill that gap, if I can fill that niche, along with other players that are very informative, like Exclusive Ace, like JGod, if you guys remember Prestigious Key, if you guys remember Drifter, those are the guys that I gain a lot of inspiration from in regards to the type of content that I want to talk about. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for the 3,000. The only way to go is up from here. So the next goal is going to be 4K. Hopefully, I'm still going to try to keep this challenge going. I wanted to go from 2 to 3K within 30 days, but we got it in 45 days, which honestly ain't that bad, right? We have to look at the silver lining. We have to see the progress that we actually did make instead of being negative about it. But as always, guys, road to 4K. Let's see if we can knock it out in 30 days, but that's only going to work if I stay consistent, if I start to continue to bring more quality content out for you guys. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, please send it my way. Do not be scared. I love nerding on this game and I'm not afraid to admit that. So if anything, guys, thank you so much again. And that's all we're going to have for this video, folks. If this video gave you any additional insight and context that you did enjoy, that gave you value, please drop a like on the video. It helps it tremendously in the algorithm. And if you enjoy the content overall and you also want to nerd out with Call of Duty with me, please drop a sub to the channel. We'd love to see you here for the next video, okay? But as always, stay pure, stay noble, and hashtag bring back honest gaming. Later, guys. And as a shameless plug for trying to add time to get up to this 8-minute mark, we're going to have this loadout that I was using for the Kilo 141. We got the suppressor, reinforced barrel, extended mag 1, ergonomic grip, and infiltrator stock. Guys, really try out the infiltrator stock. I love the ADS movement speed on this bad boy. If anything, guys, take care.